So there's a whole process that goes on as you build up towards the end of year project, which is about reviewing the progress they've made so far, looking at the kind of person they are, looking at where they want to go on with their future studies, and trying to come up with a project that's going to be really exciting for them and that's going to encapsulate all of those skills they've learnt so far, plus give them room to experiment and explore new areas.
The project I've chosen is to do a music video. The band are called The Ferns.
We're doing a collaborative project. We're working with music department, it's like a film department, and then we're also working with Tim Pope, which is a director that's mentoring us.
This afternoon I'll actually be giving the group their assignment brief. For the Level 3 performance group, they're actually going to be studying Coram Boy. The assignment brief asks that you analyse the brief, so you really clearly set out an overview of what the brief is and how you intend to approach that, and they'll be given feedback on that on a one-to-one basis. Okay, so you've given yourself deadlines for completion, you've given yourself techniques for how you're going to apply this, and then is this a timeline of what you need to...
Yeah, this is a timeline from the date that we were issued the initial project brief up until the final performance of the show.
Yeah, that looks really good. Even though it's a collaborative project, it is very much about her own approach and her applying what she's learnt previously to this project. So she'll be making links, she'll be identifying personal weaknesses and strengths, which she has done. She'll also be documenting her initial thoughts and setting out a timeline for achievement of what she wants to do and when she wants to achieve it by and why she wants to achieve it.
So for the first bit, I've sort of just said how this is going to sort of shape how I approach this play. So I've sort of set myself targets of how I will sort of improve this time, what obstacles we had to face last time, and what obstacles we might face this time. So that's just sort of an initial look on the entire unit.
In order for the students to work really collaborative, they need to be exploring ideas, and not just their own ideas, but with their peers and with their colleagues. With theatre, with film, it's all about what you can create working together as a team and what that different skills base is once you bring them together to create one project, is how much bigger that project can be than the sum of its parts. As things come up and they're researching, they fly off on tangents, and we encourage that as much as possible. They started off researching simple masks, and then the research really spiralled off from that. So some of the students have been researching performance art, fashion, so really right the way across the cultural sector, really, it's really broadened out their sense of research. They're looking at the creative side of what they're trying to achieve, but they're also looking at the more technical side.
I'm inspired by German Expressionism. When I think of it, I think of film. So I think of like the Cabinet of Dr. Caligari, Golem, Metropolis. Because our masks are made out of, most of them are made out of cards. So there's a lot of cut out things and a lot of flat things. And I feel like German Expressionism has that. So quite often it's silhouettes and shadows.
It's quite a small window, but that's what happens when you get thrown in the deep end. I've enjoyed working with Tim Pope. He's a quick thinker. It's a song I want it to be kind of hectic, because it's quite a quick song. So I want lights going everywhere, and like they even use like haze or something for smoke in the theatre. This one is basically a cage idea that I've come up with. I want to use like different gobos for this. I tried making one myself, but it didn't go to plan. This is how I would imagine it to be, but obviously different colours and my own ideas as well. We took loads of shots and loads of photos as well, and loads of videos of it, just to see what we could do. You know, it's good to experiment, and that's what the day was for.
So a lot of their research and their evidence, their logs, their evaluations is all evidenced in their portfolios, be that either a paper portfolio or a digital portfolio. But of course, the whole time we're working through the process with them practically, we're taking notes, we're taking odd photos. I'm constantly making mental and paper notes as to how well students are doing and what they're contributing.
In their logbooks, they have a bank of peer feedback sheets, which hopefully will help to inform and improve their learning. A lot of the grading criteria for UAL is based on how they collaborate, how they work, how they apply themselves. They have to be able to demonstrate that they are fully engaged in the process, and this is a way of me tracking it and for me to evidence that as well. Kezia has actually shown throughout the process that she's been thoroughly engaged from day one, and that she's actually taken on board every single piece of direction that she's been given. She's taken on feedback from me, from her peers. She's very good at self-evaluating and then improving her performance based on that, and her logbook really documents that process. She's tried to look at her logbook in a way that interests her. So rather than producing something for the benefit of myself and the examiners to look at, she's produced something that she has enjoyed producing, which I think actually helps.
As part of my research, I've made some illustrations and designs that represent Alexander's synesthesia, which is when he can see the colours, he can see music basically. It's when sort of music would then trigger another sort of part of the body to then see something. I think the whole creative process with the research helps a lot, because not only can I physically get into the mind of my character, but I can also understand the play, and I can understand everything that they do and why they do it. And then I feel like I can put myself in that situation. I get to learn about all these new experiences that people would have in life throughout these plays, and I get to sort of almost experience that myself through getting into their minds. I'd like to go on into a university or drama school and audition for that. This has prepared me really well.
We have just been setting up our end-of-year exhibition. So this is the opportunity for the students to show all their work from the year, including their final projects, to friends, family, colleagues, potential employers.
I'm a lot different. That's just the way I am. I've become more mature. I've learned a lot, and it's just, you know, my mindset on the future is just different, you know.
I have been impressed during this project at how the students have stepped up and what is basically very much a professional model that we're working to. And having worked on many professional videos myself in the past, I can see there's a lot of similarities in the way that they're working, and I would really like to increase the amount of collaboration that we do across departments and across levels. I think it's been hugely beneficial for everybody concerned.